So here we are. It's what, 2 years after COVID first hit. Can you remember the date?
Awful.
So what can you remember when you were told about it?
I was told on the 17th of March.
Okay.
On my birthday.
Oh.
When we heard it on the news that we were all going into lockdown.
Mm.
It felt scary.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do much stuff.
Mhm.
I was frightened that we'd get it, and I finally got it this year.
The hospitals were overwhelmed, weren't they?
They were. Yeah.
You know, I was a bit frightened I was going to get it, and then I finally got it this year as well from my family.
So you've had it twice?
No,
once.
So I went home over Christmas to see my family. So the year before I didn't.
Yeah.
And then when I went home over Christmas to see my family this Christmas, my dad tested positive on Christmas Day.
Oh dear.
And then my mum tested positive on my dad's birthday. I was having to take dinner up to them, drinks up to them, and then I came back on the 7th and I finally got it from my parents.
Oh dear.
But luckily I didn't have it too badly. It was just a cold, so that was good.
That was good. So how was it when the first, I'm thinking about the first time we all locked down, how was it?
Awful. We couldn't see our family at all, or do our clubs or anything.
I mean, I couldn't see.
Yeah, we were able to do stuff on Zoom, etc.
Yeah.
And I was lucky because I lived just down the road from my parents. So I was able to go and see them the first time, I think. I remember also we had a barbecue on my birthday. I remember the first time, we were at Moore House at the first time.
Yeah.
And we had a barbecue on my birthday. We had to keep distance, we had to go out in the garden. Yeah, I remember them sitting out the front, us three going in a circle, which Jenny was living with us at the time as well.
We were supposed to go away for Christmas, but then we had to cancel all our holiday plans because of it.
How about you, Fran? What was it like when it first happened?
Well, without lockdown, because my stepdad, I was with my stepdad at the time, and he had to sort of get out of lockdown.
Yeah.
It was quite scary at the time, but we managed it.
Yeah.
And then what happened, I used to go to ACL, and I don't go to ACL anymore.
Yeah, so you didn't go out anywhere?
I had to do Zoom. I had Zoom, my family on Zoom. I remember that, yeah.
So how long was it? How long did you not see your family for?
About a few months or so.
Yeah.
So I saw them on Zoom, but I was able to see them on the camera and stuff.
Yeah. So what for you was the worst thing about COVID?
Not being able to go out and see our friends and people.
And for me, the worst thing about COVID was that we had to shut our shop down completely.
Yeah.
All non-essential shops were shut, so we couldn't go to work, and we just was locked down indoors all day. We couldn't go out anywhere.
Yeah, it was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I remember the worst thing about it is not being able to go out much and see friends. I have good friends, lots of good friends who I haven't seen for a long time since, and I've caught up with quite a lot of them.
That's good.
And I've been able to go out to activities like Grove Team, etc., which I missed quite a lot.
Yeah.
But lucky they were doing all the Zoom sessions at the time.
That's good. That's really good.
So we can keep in touch, and they did it once every week.
Yeah.
They did activities like woodwork, etc. Made a tree, like a squirrel table, and we still got it.
Oh, excellent.
That's over Zoom on the first lockdown.
So I used to do rugby. That was a bit of a nuisance when I couldn't do that. But these guys actually joined in. One of the coaches actually did like a fitness session over Zoom. Brilliant. And these guys actually joined in with it.
So you got fit as well?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then before the testing came in, I was glad when it actually came in, because the first Christmas when I went home, I had to self-isolate in my parents' house and then test before I could actually go out and about. I had to FaceTime my family on Christmas Day, and these guys moved in on the day when I was due to come back.
Yes, you moved house.
There wasn't very many cars around.
In the lockdown.
During lockdown, you moved house.
Second lockdown.
Yeah.
Second lockdown.
So what was that like?
It was quite enjoyable in theory for us two because we moved all the stuff. Basically, we had help from members of staff. They came in and gave us a hand, if I remember correctly. Then we did a video,
Yeah.
and it was a success. The video was.
When did I move in?
He moved in a week or so after us guys.
A week or so after
Yeah.
these guys. So what I did was they moved in and then I moved in because I had to do a test. So I had to self-isolate back at my... And the annoying thing was I did a PCR on the 31st, which came back negative. Then I did PCR on the 5th, which came back inconclusive. So I had to do another one, and that came back positive. But then I got told by our team leader, who we may sometimes see still, do another PCR. So I did one on the 7th when I got the LFTs, but then my manager was going by, Debbie was going by the first one I did. Yeah. Whereas NHS Test and Trace were going by the second one.
It was very confusing, wasn't it? All the testing. Do you find the testing easier now?
Yes.
When you just do it just up your nose and not down your throat.
Yeah.
Apart from the other thing is they used to be free, now we have to pay for them.
Yeah. So what do you think about paying for the LFD test? Do you think that's a good thing, or what do you think?
I think it's a bad thing.
And it's about £9. You'd have thought it would have made it $1.05 or something.
Well, we thought you would get it free because you're,
Yeah, you'd thought we still would have got it free, us guys.
How was that first Christmas? That was really strange, wasn't it?
It was strange because
go out.
and we couldn't see anybody. And you couldn't see anybody.
No.
Some of our staff got it as well.
Yeah.
Jack had to isolate at home over Christmas, and us two didn't have to because we didn't find out until Jack informed us over Christmas, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, Assad tested positive on the day I saw him, and then I only found out that he had got it when I was already home. If you see, he didn't get his results back till the afternoon when I'd already gone home. If he got his results back in the morning, I would have said to my parents, look, I'm not coming home.
Yeah.
Whereas I only found out that he had got it when I went home.
Right, okay.
So when I'd gone home, so Mum told me.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, gotta go through isolation. And then...
You told us?
Yeah, I told these guys because they weren't informed. Your mum got an email from our manager, but then their mum didn't inform them, so I was actually told these guys, and they didn't have to isolate.
What was your Christmas day like the first year?
The first year was boring, so what I did, we spoke to my mum and Leon's mum on the phone. We just phoned them or texted them just to talk to them.
And did you manage to get food in and everything? Okay?
Yes, got through all right.
Yeah. It was very strange, wasn't it, not seeing family?
Not having Christmas dinner.
Yeah, very strange. And what about you, Fran? What was the worst thing, do you think?
Well, we were in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I was in tier 2 because my friends were in Godalming at the time, doing Godalming Good Neighbour stuff and all this. It got a bit scary at one point. And then what happened was I jumped from tier 2 to tier 4.
Right.
It was Boris Johnson.
Yeah, because I remember there were different tiers, weren't there? So literally across the street could be a different tier.
Yeah, and Boris Johnson completely changed the rules.
Yeah.
So like after at home with my parents, tier 2, and suddenly I jumped back into tier 4.
Because he announced to stay at home, stay safe.
Yeah, do you remember?
The only thing you could do is like go for walks.
Yeah.
Local walks. I remember announcing it to them.
Yes. Yeah.
And then tier 3 and then tier 4, it was all a bit...
You can't have anyone in your house.
It was all a bit scary for me.
What were you going to say,
When
Mum?
my mum came to visit us, she had to stand on the door, outside on the doorstep.
Yeah.
You couldn't come in.
Yeah.
She wasn't allowed to come in at all. She could just visit on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And once the support workers came to our shopping, we had to sign a consent form for them to take our bank card
Yeah.
and use that.
And leave our shopping on the
Yeah, because
doorstep.
you couldn't go and get cash, could you?
No, we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So they used our bank card and we'd sign a form, say yes, we give your consent.
And they've brought the shopping back and just left it outside.
Yeah. Goodness me. Was there anything positive about COVID? I'm looking at you, Fred. So tell me what good things happened.
We learned lots of new skills, like we learned how to do the LFTs.
Yeah.
Like we're still doing them, which is good. And we learned a lot more hygiene skills. Like we learned etc. Like gave us a bit more independence.
Great, brilliant.
Like for example, like the good thing now is I'm able to do keyboard lessons. I still do it.
Right.
I wasn't able to do that when it was happening.
Yeah.
And I'm able to go out to activities like the growth team and get out and about.
Yeah.
Which I thoroughly enjoyed, and volunteering in front.
Was there anything else you did more of during lockdown when we weren't doing our normal stuff?
I would say more cleaning stuff. We all got together as a team and gave the house a thorough clean several times a day.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. What about you, Leon? Did you learn anything new or what was good about it? What was nice about lockdown?
The best thing good about lockdown is I got to grow my beard back.
You got to grow your beard back. Excellent.
But no one liked it.
Oh, but still, no one could see it, could they?
No. Only Mel saw it.
Only Mel.
Mel took a picture of it
Yeah.
and kept it on her phone for reference.
So you enjoyed growing your beard back during
I did,
lockdown?
yes. I enjoyed
Excellent.
that. It took me 6 months
Wow.
to grow thick and bushy.
Big, thick, bushy beard.
And my hair was all long
Excellent.
and bushy and curly.
Yeah, we couldn't go to the hairdressers, could we?
No.
For
It was
ages.
all closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as I knew that we were back to normal,
Yeah.
I went into work to say hello to them.
Yeah.
And the first thing my manager said to me was, get that thing off before you come back to work.
Excellent. And what about you, Mel? What was good about lockdown? What was good
I was
about
making cakes and things during lockdown and do a bit of cooking,
Yeah.
which was good.
Did you do banana bread?
We'll do
No.
things.
Yeah,
I
loads
just
of
made-
people did banana
I
bread.
just made some cakes and just a
Great.
bit of cleaning and things.
Yeah.
And I was teaching them how to do the main dishes, teaching them new skills.
New recipes, yeah.
We did things together.
That's lovely. That's lovely. What about you? Was there anything good about lockdown? And
Kind of. I mean, I managed to learn a lot of skills and just be more switched on.
And going for walks we enjoyed.
yeah, it was really quiet as well outside, wasn't it?
it?
Within COVID, so obviously you had support staff around you to support you, etc. What things did the support staff do that was important to you?
Showed us how to clean the house properly and showed us a bit more about our money situations, etc. Helped us out a bit more. And they've showed us a bit more travel training. Since then, I've learnt a few more bits, like how to get from Calgary. I've learnt how to get to Calgary by train.
Fantastic.
And also,
And since then, I've got another volunteering job, which is good at Brooklands.
Yeah, that's amazing.
they've shown us how to do the testing
Yes.
and everything.
So you've learned how to do your own testing as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
And also we learnt how to use Zoom from those guys.
Yeah.
We did tons of Zooms with the growth team.
Fantastic.
They did it twice a week actually. They did activity session on a Thursday. If I remember, I think it was a Tuesday. They did like a catch up type session to find out how we're doing it.
Yeah.
And we were able to share our hobbies to people. Like I showed
Brilliant.
I showed them my model train set.
Yeah.
And somebody showed them model taxi they made over lockdown.
Yeah.
And talked about what they'd been up to during the week.
So did you learn a bit more about each other doing those Zoom sessions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's always.
Because you couldn't see people face to face.
No.
We didn't have a laptop. We had to go to Mel's mum's
Yeah.
and she set it up for us.
Yeah.
And it was nice because I got to see that speaker.
And it was nice because you got to see lots of people.
Brilliant.
Same with like we were doing fitness sessions and I was doing like a writing sort of section as well.
Okay.
Different.
Can you imagine what would it have been like if you hadn't had Zoom or Teams or phones?
Hard.
Very awful.
Be awful.
Much harder, wouldn't
Be
it?
harder for us all.
We've learned a lot though, I think.
We have learned a lot. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I've been able to do ACL still and still
Yeah.
learn skills.
Yeah. And getting fit, being able to get fit online is fantastic.
And going out for walks is quite
Yeah.
good now because you could just...
I think more people are going out for walks more now because they saw how special
And
they
now
were.
it's get back to work as well.
Yeah,
And back to what you were doing before.
you appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah.
We are going bowling on the 20th with Halo.
Yeah,
We since the whole COVID, we used to have this rubbish taxi company who never actually turned up. We don't even use them anymore. We use a much better taxi firm.
so you've learned new things,
Yeah.
about.
And all I've got to do is, if we ever need a taxi, for example, all I've got to do is I've got to ring up the manager of the company we use saying, can we have a taxi for this
Yeah,
time, and they will actually book it there
Brilliant.
and then. Rather than us booking it, I don't usually ring him up nearer the time. He just says to me, when you're ready to be picked up, just give him a phone call. Well, because in advance you used to have to book it in advance
Right,
with
okay,
Apco
so
and
now-
Galaxy, so I could just ring.
yeah.
No, we don't have to do that.
Now we don't have to do
so
that.
We know the driver.
We
That's
know
good.
the driver anyway, so
So you've learnt that. And what about you guys? What did support staff do for you?
Well, they phoned us to see how we were getting on and how we were coping with COVID. And if we needed anything,
Yeah,
just to give them a call.
yeah, yeah. Anything that they did for you, Leon, particularly?
What staff did for me, make sure I had enough tablets and make sure I had enough quantities of my medication
Yeah.
indoors.
So all your tablets. Do you normally do support staff go with you to get your medication?
No, we do it ourselves.
So, but they were doing it for you, were
Yes.
they? Okay.
While COVID was on.
Yeah.
And same game, we had to sign consent forms for them
Yeah.
to show the chemists what they're doing.
Brilliant. Yeah. You found that helpful, did you?
Yes, very helpful.
And shopping as well.
Yeah, shopping.
Yeah,
'Cause
shopping.
They had to give them. They had to do a shopping list and give them the shopping list what they
Yeah.
had to get for us, and take
Yeah.
the card, and then bring it back and put it on the doorstep.
Okay, so they didn't come in the house, were they just
No.
on the
They
doorstep?
lived outside our front door.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't come in,
No.
just in case they had it.
Forms.
And if they had it, they wouldn't be and
Yeah.
they would
Pass it on.
pass it on.
and like our staff could still obviously come in
Yes. Yeah.
wearing masks and everything.
Yeah. And how did you find people wearing masks, Fran? What was that like, having the support staff wearing masks?
It's all right. Some of them a little bit, because I didn't know them,
Yeah.
and they're a bit unsure who they were at first.
Going back to wearing masks,
Yeah.
we still have to wear them in the growth team, in the buses, etc.
Yes,
To be on
yeah.
the safe side. And also, if we find buses quite busy on the public transport or trains quite packed or busy,
Yeah.
we use them then.
Good. Good. 'Cause
Where
they still
the-
recommend them, don't they?
Yeah,
in
it's-
closed spaces.
It's optional, isn't it?
Actually,
Yeah,
the
it is.
schools are out. But
And I can understand when people are talking.
Yes.
For example, some of the transport we go on are quite busy, like the public transport buses.
Yeah.
I always get one in the morning on a Wednesday, etc. And it's always busy with school kids.
So you wear a mask
Yes, and most of them don't even wear masks anyway, to be on the safe side.
because people are still getting COVID, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we still get, we're still getting
Watch
people.
out.
Yeah, we've still got to be careful, haven't we?
Cautious.
So going back to when you were all in lockdown and
Yeah.
when COVID was happening, did support staff explain what was going on? Did they help you
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
what was going on? Because it was all over the news, wasn't it?
Yes.
They did. They talked us through it.
Yeah.
We watched it with them, and they explained to us through it for what it was about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the guidance used to change.
read rules.
That was all a bit of a nuisance because
Yeah.
when the guidance used to change, we didn't know what the guidance was, so we asked Kayla, who used to support us, whether she could actually send it on to us guys. So she sent it on.
Easy read documents, you mean?
Easy read
Easy read.
documents.
Brilliant.
That's what we're doing in the new directors meetings, going
Yes.
through them.
Yeah. And explaining COVID, because it was scary, wasn't it?
It's very
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, and different people were saying different things,
Yeah.
weren't they? Did you?
When we got we had the first COVID,
Yeah.
and then we had the other variant,
Yeah.
and it was just difficult to understand what it was.
And Omicron.
Omicron, yeah. And it was changing a lot, wasn't it?
And that's the one my parents got Omicron.
Yeah.
You were getting confused with what's going on.
And in terms of the other things that support staff did to help, what other things did support staff do to help during COVID, do you think?
Not actually sure.
Like it was more.
Yeah,
So it was more me.
you were helping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more me helping these
Because
guys.
you'd moved, hadn't you, from 24-hour support
Yeah.
to
So it's
yeah.
more. So it's
Yeah.
more me helping these guys out.
yeah,
So we get obviously less support
now.
Gradually going out, so.
Yeah.
gradually going out slowly. So for example, if these guys ever get it, it will be more me
Help.
rather than obviously having staff
Yeah.
coming in. It will be more.
Yeah, you're doing it between you as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Deciding between you what you're going to do. So, what an experience! And we're still in it, so we're still being careful. But yeah, we've come through the other
But
side,
now we can
haven't
get
we?
back to what we've been doing.
And
Absolutely.
We're still here.
Get back to reality.
And maybe have a Christmas together.
Hopefully this Christmas will be
Yeah.
a better one. Needs to up my brain.
Yeah. Thank you so much for today and for all the stuff you've done during the group as well. It's been really helpful
It has.
to everybody. It's been interesting, hasn't
It's
it?
It
been
has
great.
been interesting.
You've enjoyed
I've
it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've
Good.
enjoyed it.